welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be answering the question of who would win in a fight between Jurassic Park's Rexy and the god of Skull Island, King Kong. Now for this fight, we're going to be looking over Peter Jackson's take on the iconic King for this, along with the fact that we'll be bringing both combatants at their peak and we'll be going over these categories to find out who wins. The fight will be happening somewhere on Skull Island, and it depends on how they behave to see who gets this victory. The categories are strength, speed, durability, intelligence, size, weight, stamina, and abilities. With the categories out of the way, let's dive in. First up is strength, and Rexy is able to bite with a force of around 12,000 pounds, and has easily shown to be able to push and pull the Indominus Rex, who weighs around 8 tons, along with a Giganotosaurus, who weighed around 9 tons, while Kong was able to toss around the Statosaurus Rexes, which weighs around 10 to 20 tons. With little room to debate, King Kong takes the edge in strength. For speed, while Kong doesn't have any stated stats for it, his fight with the V-Rex family shows that he can be comparable, to which an average V-Rex can go around 20 miles per hour, but this pales in comparison to Rexy, who is stated to be able to run around 32 miles per hour. With that, Rexy takes the edge in speed. Next up is durability, and this one is pretty clear. Kong was able to get hurt by bullets and a harpoon, along with showing signs of bleeding after the V-Rex fight, where he got bit in the arm. While Rexy's been somewhat comparable to the M-Dom, with surviving being thrown around into buildings, and can take shots from Owen's gun. With that being said, durability goes to Rexy. For size, Rexy stands around 18 feet tall, while Kong is stated to be around 25 feet tall. With this, Kong takes the edge in size. But we all know that size isn't everything, because next up is weight, and Rexy is stated to be around 8.4 tons, while Kong is stated to be around 5 tons. But that's ridiculous. He should be much heavier for his size, so let's try the square cube law to figure out a more accurate weight for Kong. So King Kong is 25 feet, which is roughly 7.62 meters. A gorilla is on average around 1.4 to 1.8 meters, so let's go with 1.55 meters. Nothing too crazy. An average gorilla is around 195 kilograms. We can replace the volume for mass of a gorilla, and that will bring us something like this. Plugging that into a calculator gives us 23,168 kilograms, which is around 25.538 tons. With no room for debate, Kong takes the edge in weight. For stamina, Rexy has shown that she has her limits, such as when fighting the Indominus. She got extremely tired out, which was likely the reason she didn't attack Blue. But her most confusing yet impressive feat was when she literally died and then just came back to life. No time needed, just straight up, standing back up without a single issue to keep fighting and then kill the Giga. This is extremely confusing, since it seemed like she just came back to life because she remembered the past. So does this mean that she can likely come back to life if Kong could end up killing her in battle? Very unlikely, but for Kong, estimating the amount of time Kong spent on fighting the V-Rex trio, he ended up fighting for nearly 6 minutes straight. No break, no recovery, killing all 3 of them. And Rexy, she usually gets destroyed in a few minutes before needing some time to get back up to fight. So Kong takes this with ease. Next up is intelligence, and Rexy has shown simple problem-solving skills, such as using her brute force against the Indominus and Blue as a distraction for when she needed to land a hit, since earlier her previous battle didn't go so well. And when the battle was finished, she also showed that we could guess either respect for Blue or understanding that the fight would be meaningless since they both were tired. But as we all know, they aren't allies, as in Jurassic World VR story game, we saw them fight. Rexy has shown signs of curiosity when she saw a deer in the Biosyn Valley, perhaps inspecting to see if it were alive or was it really food. And when seeing the Jurassic Park tour jeep wasn't edible, but instead something inside, she did her best to try it open. But King Kong jumps in with a clear advantage, showing extremely skilled moves against creatures similar to Rexy's stature, ways to move around the island more efficiently, and showing near-human emotions such as laughter and anger when Anne refused to keep falling on the floor. And of course, the Tyrannosaurus Rex's brain is shown to be rather small compared to apes, but have shown similar emotions and tactics to their fictional counterpart, giving Kong the edge. Up next is abilities, and this one's pretty easy to figure out. Rexy has the ability to have a second wind along with a frenzy mode due to her heightened aggression. Rexy has well shown her incredibly powerful bite, which many theropods can only dream of having, coming in around 12,000 psi, but the IRL Rex has it better. Still, nonetheless, it's powerful, and then we have Kong, who's a big ape. Jokes aside, he isn't terrible himself, having great leaping capabilities and using his terrain to his advantage, such as boulders, but that is more than given with his intelligence, so we can give abilities to Rexy. With the categories out of the way, we have a result of Kong having 5, while Rexy only has made it with 3. Without the categories in mind, since they are not everything, we have come to our conclusion that our victor is Kong with medium difficulty against Rexy. With his experience against similar dinosaurs like the V-Rexes, he knows how to deal with theropods, and unfortunately for Rexy, she is unironically just a smaller, weaker V-Rex for Kong. Rexy could get some good fights in, and since she is smarter than most give her credit for, but knowing how Kong thinks and the fact is more favorable physical stats, he ends up taking the victory against the Queen of Isla Nublar. What did you think of the video? Do you agree with the outcome? You can tell me down in the comments below, and with that being said, I've been Bull of the Mesozoic, and have a good day.